Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 2 of the Team Shazoo Discord Championship. Today we are going to be playing rounds 3 and 4 of the season, so we will be hitting China and Spain. But before we do that, we're going to quickly jump into the standings to see where we're sat from last round. So as we will see here, Leo took 2 wins on the first 2 races there, so he's comfortably in the lead here on 60 points. Followed up by Svetkov, 1 second ties, Andre, Milan, Sanchez, Marcus, Chile and Korn to round out the top 10. When we look at the constructors, it is Alfa Romeo who are 84 points and McLaren follow them on 72. Then we got a little bit of a points gap down to 3rd place Aston Martin, followed by Williams, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Haas, Mercedes, Alpine and the Red Bull team. So as you can see so far, Skeezer is the one who is actually taking the lead here on this hot lap for pole position. He's slowly developing a little gap here to Chile in 2nd. These two seem to be doing very good in terms of qualifying this season, but they don't seem to be able to make it last year and win the race when it matters. So let's see how they go. Coming down to the final turn though, it looks like Skeezer's got a comfortable gap here. Leo's managed to get himself up to 2nd, so the championship leader's done very good there. When we look at the championship battle here, so we got Skeezer, P1, Leo, who's the championship leader, and P2, Marcus 3, Leopard 4, Svetkov 5th, 1 second 6th, Chile 7th, Neon 8th, Jax 9th, Shui 10th. When we've got outside the top 10, we have Ties, Cohen, O'Neill, Apex, Milan, Tom, FH, Andre, Sanchez, and Korn. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're away! Skeezer takes the lead here right off the bat. Leo holds the inside line to try and keep 2nd place, but Marcus is up his inside and manages to steal that position from him. Leopard's looking feisty as well, so it's 1 second. He's not held back, so he's had a brilliant start on those hard tyres, so he has. And he's made it work. He's flew by Leo. Surprised because Leo's on the medium compound with a faster tyre, but Marcus is saying that though. Marcus has done a runner. Look at him. It's fantastic run away. Already gained half a second on the pack, so let's see if he can make that last. The gap behind, Skeezer's holding it off nicely, but Apex has been right by 2, and he's now fighting with Leo. Leo seems to be getting the tyres warmed up now, and he's got back into the 3rd place position. Luke's going around outside of 2nd place. Can he hold it? Not quite. Apex is still on the inside, and Apex is the one that makes the move to 2nd place with Leo pulling around outside of Skeezer for 3rd. Moving down the pack, 1 second, holding off Ties a little bit, but there's a huge battle here between Milan, Shui, Cohen, Chile and Leopard. Leopard's falling away right now. He's not doing too well at the moment. He's dropping all the positions. He was 5th place, so it's not only like 1 or 2 laps to go, so he's having a horrid time here. Myself back in 17th place, just being a back marker at this point. What to expect. Jax hasn't had a good start either. He's fell right to the back, but Leo has ran away. Wow! 1.5 second lead. This boy's got something about his car which is just phenomenal. Look at the gap he's got, and then as well as that, 1 second's got a big gap as well to Chile. So you know things are going pretty well for the front two so far. But at this point, it is Leo's race to lose. He is flying. Oh wait, I think I may have spoken too soon. I have. Wow. Never mind. That's okay. I thought Leo would just flew away, but actually. We'd already seen Marcus and Chile, we'd already seen Marcus, Apex, Cohen, Skeezer and Shui get the pit already, so they've flew by Leo, so Leo isn't actually having as good a race as I thought he was. So that's good, because it bodes well for the championship that Leo isn't just running away with it. But as we jump back to the front, it's Marcus this race, who is flying! 3 seconds near enough in the lead over Apex. This is by far the biggest lead we've had so far in the championship season, and he is just way quicker than everybody else here. So Cohen and Shui are off onto the 2-stopper, see how they can make this work. They will be flying through the field at the end here if they don't get held up too early, and it seems as though they are getting held up a little bit, but Cohen nicely around the outside of Tom and on the inside of Svetkov, and now he's just right on the back of Milan, so there's an opportunity here for him. But Svetkov has the straight line speed in that McLaren, swoops by him and then goes on after Milan, and he gets to the inside of Milan as well. Apex just comes out of the pits just ahead of Svetkov, so he's done that soft tie, 2 laps to make it work. Marcus is pitted and managed to still come out in the lead, So he could be set to win this, but in saying that, he's not looking too quick. He looks like he's maybe struggling to get those tyres heated up. 1 second, who's all over the back of him, and obviously 1 second will want this race win because he needs to catch up with Leo, and Leo's obviously in 3rd place in this race currently. So we get a feisty battle here. 1 second, they're side by side for a couple of corners, and they still keep going actually. Marcus defends the position very nicely. So as we're about to head out of this last lap, it seems like Marcus has got those tyres fired up, and it looks as though he's ready to run away with it because he's just pulled out a full second within 2 corners. So it looks as though 1 second is going to be the one having to settle for 2nd place this time. Marcus is going to be running away with this comfortably. Leo has got Chile closing down on him, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Apex as well has got the pace, but I don't think they've got the gaps that they need. So coming in the last corner, Marcus is coming in the final turn and takes the race win, followed by 1 second. Chile just manages to pit Leo at the last corner. Apex followed by Skeezer, Cohen, Shui and Ties. This Ties, I think Ties just steals it on the line. We got Svetkov chased there closely by Milan, and then Leopard actually does manage to hold his position. So what a brilliant little race there, very exciting. Chile manages to pit Leo at the very end, but the race winner in dominating fashion was Shazoo Marcus, so congratulations to him. He's by far the quickest car on the grid there, over half a second faster than anybody else in that race on the best lap. 1 second is in 2nd place, Chile 3rd, Leo 4th, Apex 5th, Skeezer 6th, Cohen is 7th, Ties is 8th, Shui 9th, Svetkov is 10th. Then we go to the bottom half, it's Milan, followed by Leopard, Tom, Ryder, Corny, Andre, O'Neill, myself, FH, Sanchez, and then Jax rounds out the bottom position. So when we look over how that bodes for the championship, Leo still in the lead, and he still has quite a comfortable lead if I'm pretty honest with you, and it's followed by 1 second. Marcus has jumped up the order to 3rd place, Svetkov is 4th, Chile 5th, Ty 6th, Apex 7th, Milan 8th, Shui 9th, Andre 10th, 11th Skeezer, 12th Corny, 13th Sanchez, 14th myself, 15th Leopard, 16th Cohen, 17th Tom, 18th Neon, 19th Jax, and 20th is FH. Looking at the title, but there's McLaren who have now jumped over Alfa Romeo, but only just, they're 2 points ahead, followed by Williams, Haas, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine and Red Bull. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go running right into Spain here. Let's see how this race goes. And as we get the lights off here, we are now away for the pole laps, and it looks as though it's Apex who's leading into turn 1. He's got a small gap over everybody else here, and it's Leopard closely following behind, but as we know in the qualifiers, anything can change at any given moment. But it looks as though it's going to be Apex and Leopard that are slowly pulling away from everybody else. Apex seems to have the legs though, which is good to see. He's making it work quite well, and there's a big battle going behind, but it looks as though 1 second is going to come away in 3rd place, and I go, oh no, it's changed just at the last second. Pole position goes to LCR Apex, so well done to you, sir. Followed by LCR Leopard, Team Shazoo Svetkov, 1 second, Leo, Sanchez, Skeezer, Marcus, Chile, Shui, Neon, Milan, Andre, Cohen, Jax, O'Neill, Corny, FH, Tom and Ties. Now this is what we need from the Alfa Romeo boys. Sanchez is needing to kind of back Leo up a little bit, because Leo is obviously pulling the weight right now for the team leading the championship, and we just need Sanchez to give him a little bit of support, especially with these McLaren boys being pretty consistent so far each race, always been there or thereabouts. Leopard with a fantastic qualifying, but he's always struggled in the races, so let's see if this can be a different race for him. And we are getting ready to head off from the start, following Apex. Manages to cover Leopard straight off the start, but Svetkov is not holding back. He's straight through the inside Leopard, and it looks as though we're also seeing 1 second has not had a good start either. He's falling back. Oh, he's not doing too well. Championship rival there to Leo is falling down the order. He's down in 8th, 9th already. But if we jump back up towards the front, it's Leo who is hunting down the leader. Apex is trying to keep this, and he does so well so far. We got some DRS slipstreaming here on lap 1, which should not be able to happen, but everybody's pushing by each other. Very aggressive so far. Sanchez now managed to sweep by his teammate. Leo is now the one starting to fall down the order, and 1 second has actually managed to recover, which is good. So he's back up to 6th. He sweeps by Leo to get to 5th. So he passed his championship rival, which is very good to see, very exciting for us. Up towards the front, we got Apex leading the way, but Skeezer is chasing down. 1 second has got that NOS on. Look at him fly. He's just way faster than everybody else down those straights, and he just sweeps down inside Apex to take P1. He's like, I'm going away. I need to win this one as well, because I want to, or I need to win this one, shall I say, because obviously it was not him that won last race. He wants to get ahead for these pit stops, obviously coming in. O'Neill's already pitted. He's at the back of the grid looking rubbish. But as it starts, it seems like we're about to be getting into that pit phase, and we do. So that's 1 second in, Skeezer in, Milan in, Chile in as well. We got Cohen in, so we got a huge little backlog here. Cohen, we got Sanchez, Leo, Shuey, Andre, so many people already in. It was good to see, but so far it's 1 second leading the way out of the people who have already pitted. We got Apex still out on track, so he's going to have that tyre advantage when it comes to coming out. So will Svetkov and Leopard, so these guys seem like they could be on for a possible good strong finish to this race. As we see going further down the grid, we got a side-by-side battle there between two teammates. It's Chile and Skeezer. Chile just goes running outside through the chicane. We got the front runners in the pits now, but they have lost out heavily. So Apex, who was I think 2nd or 3rd place, he's fallen right back to 6th now. So that is what happens when you do go for that alternative strategy and pitting a little bit later. You do sacrifice that initial track position, and we can see the battles here in front. Chile's the one now. He's thinking, I want to take a win here. I've been midfielder, not too strong this season so far, so I want to take control. These championship leaders, I'm fed up with them always being at the front, and they're saying something about it. We get some drivers here at the front, top 3, who don't think they've been here all season, which is good to see. So we got Chile followed by Milan, and then Cohen. Cohen's been roughly thereabouts. We got some of the front runners, so we got the 2 McLarens again doing pretty well. Leo is falling away quite heavily. This is like his worst race so far this season. He's still got 4 laps though, so he can still come back, and he's already starting to come back at Leopard. And exactly what I was referring to about Leopard's race pace as well. Unfortunately, in that car at the moment, he just can't seem to get it set up balanced. And although he qualifies really strong, his race pace is just not quite there for him at the moment. But as it stands, Apex is leading over 1 second, followed by Svetkov and Marcus, and then Skeezer, and then we got the first 2-stopper in Chile, who is probably going to be our leader by the time it comes to the full pit stop. So let's just stay on board with him and see how this happens. Leopard is trying to battle here with some of the guys who have just came out of the pits and gets by them, but I feel as though that's going to be in vain because they're going to come flying back past them. And it's Apex actually. Apex manages to keep the lead. Oh, he's got to be on for the win now. Comes out on the softer tyre as well, and he gets a good half a second, up to a second gap, and he's already starting to grease it. So this is this moment. It's Apex's late race to lose, but Chile losing a little bit of pace. Cohen right down the inside there, 1 second in and about it. So he'd be hoping to try and get a bigger gap as he can. And where is Leo? So Leo's still sitting at 12. So this is a good opportunity for 1 second, if he can do it, to get top 2 and definitely maybe even take the championship lead, or get right up in behind Leo at least and close that points tally down. But with 1 lap to go, what can we say? Apex is running away with it. He's not even holding back. Chile is slowly closing that gap in, so I will say that gap's coming down little by little, but I feel like it's just a little bit too late, because one thing we can see is Chile's straight line speed doesn't look too impressive. So I'm not really sure he's got any answer for Apex. But as we head into this last lap, 1 second, and Svetkov, 2 teammates battling it out. They're both trying to fight for the championship points here, because they are both in that championship hunt. But as we get towards the last sector, Apex has had a dominating race. He comes through the last chicane into that last corner, and he wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Race winner Apex, and fastest lap, 2 second gap over Chile, followed by Svetkov to round out the podium. Milan 1 second in 5th, Sanchez in 6th, and he actually does well for his team because Leo did not have too good a race. 7th for Skeezer, 8th Cohen, Marcus 9th, Leopard is 10th, and 11th is where we have Leo, so the championship leader, definitely not the best race here, followed by Andre in 12th, Shuey 13th, Tom 14th, O'Neill 15th, Ty 16th, Corney, Jax, Ryder, and rounding out the top 20 is F8. when we look at the championship standings, that means that we have Leo still leading the way, but that gap has been cut in half. So 1 second is only 13 points behind now, followed by Svetkov, Chile, Apex, Marcus, Milan, Skeezer, Ties, Sanchez, Andre, Shui, Cohen, Leopard, Corny, O'Neill, Tom, Ryder, Jax and FH rounding out the bottom of the grid. One thing we will say here is when we're going to look at the standards, we're going to see a little bit of I think we're going to see a little bit some team changes in the positions here, and we do. It's just expected. Williams have now also jumped Alfa Romeo. So Alfa Romeo have not had a good 2 rounds here. They started off in first after that first 2 and they've now dropped to third. The battle is still close, so McLaren, they've pulled a little bit of a gap, but as we saw from this race, these 2 races and the last 2 races, anything can happen, and it's just the way it is. But top of the championship is McLaren, followed by Williams, Alfa Romeo in third, Haas are 4th, AlphaTauri are 5th, Aston Martin 6th, Ferrari 7th, Mercedes 8th, Alpine 9th and Red Bull in 10th. One thing I will say is anything between 5th and 10th place, like, it will only take 1 race and that whole kind of group can change, but we definitely do seem to have a top 4 starting to slowly run away from everybody else. But that'll be our 2 races for this episode, so thank you very much everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope your car's done well on track. If not, we can always get better luck next 2 races, can't we? But thank you very much. Hopefully you've liked. If you have, drop a comment below, give us a little like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and see you all later on.